Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. Folks, we are on Jedi Quest number 8 by Jude Watson, The Changing of the Guard. This one takes up roughly, I think, a year later, because Anakin's listed as now being 17. He and Obi-Wan are the best of friends now. They're really bonding together, and their connection as Master and Padawan is going well. They are still on the lookout for Jenna Xanador, who's gone to the planet, I think it's Roman. And that is a planet that is a safe haven for crooks. As long as they pay a bribe, a couple of bribes, they can stay there and be safe. The ruler of the planet, doesn't allow forces or the Republic or Jedi to come and land. And he basically kind of rules that planet on his own. It's not underneath the Republic rule. So Obi-Wan, Siri, Anakin, and Ferus decide to go undercover as this criminal group called Slam's Gang, Slam and his gang. Obi-Wan plays Slam, real flamboyant, rogue. And so they all get to the planet under the guise of trying to capture Jenna Xanador. While they're there, they get kind of, brought into an uprising. There's a resistance group that wants to form a coup to run the tyrant of a governor off the planet and rule themselves. Ferus has reserves that Jedi should not be, he doesn't think they should be posing as criminals, and he doesn't think they should be helping in an uprising. He turns out to be right because it does get a little bit too out of hand, but the Jedi are trying to escape with Jenna Xanador. As they do this, and it looks like their plan's about to happen, the real Slam gang shows up. It seems like they escaped prison, got to the planet, and they knew this earlier at a party. They met the real Slams like, uh-oh. So they know the jig is up soon, and it's up, of course, at the moment they're about to get Jenna Xanador. So she gets, they end up, whooping out their lightsabers, saving the day. In fact, the picture on the cover is basically in the last 10 pages of the book. It's really weird. Again, I got to wonder if they just flipped to the end and said, what happens at the end? Okay, I'll write that scene. That looks like something I could write. Them walking around, even though they're not walking around in jail, they're basically, that's where their last battle's kind of taking place. But either way, I'm just, talking about the cover there. But at the end, they do capture her, bring her to justice. Mace Windu arrives. The new leadership wants to execute all the old leadership, and he's been setting executions already in place. Mace Windu goes, if you want to be part of the Republic and get our support, because we'll support this coup, but you have to stop executions. Everyone must be fairly tried, including Tedra, who was the old ruler of the planet. And so he doesn't like that, but he takes Tedra or sends them off to be put in jail. Ferus is the one who kind of talks to the new leader of the resistance and convinces them to, stop the executions. He gets lauded and praised by Mace Windu all the time. Anakin is sitting there kind of steaming because he didn't get, Anakin's being a baby about it. But, and I'll talk about Ferus in just a moment. But then Anakin realizes in the very next chapter that, wait a minute, you just want them to get away, because if you kill him, he'll be a martyr and there may be a resistance against you. So your whole plan was to let him get away. Now, they try to put it together how Anakin figured that out, but it really was just haphazard in the last chapter that Anakin just says, wait a minute, they're not going off to jail, you're letting them escape. And so Mace Windu and the team go to stop them, but Obi-Wan goes, wait a minute. They find out later on in the book that Jenna Xanador is working with Granta Omega. Oh no, the big villain, right? The big story arc villain here. And Obi-Wan's like, wait a minute. If we let her go, she'll lead us straight to Granta. And Mace says it's a risk, but he says, okay. So Anakin gets a tracker on the ship right before it leaves the planet. And now Ferus, Anakin, Siri, and Obi-Wan are following them. They left Mace on the planet because they needed a ship. And so they take off in Mace's ship to kind of track Jenna Xanador and Tedra to Granta Omega. But at the end of it, Anakin stands up, he goes rigid, and Obi-Wan goes, what's going on? He went, Granta, he knows we're coming. Bum, bum, bum. So what's going to happen in the next book? Well, you have to find out later. But let me talk about Ferus Olin here, because here Jude Watson has to walk back, or kind of change, in a way, some of her own pre-established storyline here. Because in the very first book, she talks about how Ferus Olin is loved by all the masters and Padawans. It says that. He's loved by everyone. But in this book, she realizes, oh wait, Ferus is going to be my main character. I need to give him some type of weakness. And this is another reason I don't like Ferus, but he's talking to Obi-Wan. He's like, yeah, and no one at the academy or temple really loved me. The other Padawans weren't my friends. Anakin always make friends. I've always admired Anakin because he can make friends, and I can't. And Obi-Wan says what we're all thinking, like, wait, weren't you super popular back at the academy, back in training, Jedi Academy? He goes, well, they respected me, but they never became my friend. They called me Mr. And I'm serious. It was something like Mr. Stick in the Mud or, Padawan boring. Oh, boo-hoo. Is that all they called you? I mean, it's like, because he said, I never was able to cut loose and have fun. It's almost like, Matt, I'm going to call you Mr. Muscles because you're working out all the time. Mr. Muscles. Oh, yeah, I'm so upset. So that he couldn't have fun, that he was a good student and stayed true to his studies. People thought he was a stick in the mud. Oh, I'll just bear the weight of it. Give me a break. Give me a break. You know what, Ferus? I don't like you because you're too smart. That's why we don't like you. You're too smart, or you're too skilled. You're too good. That's why people don't like me, Obi-Wan, because I am too good. Oh, but I'll get over it. I'll get over not having friends. BS. You see what I mean? I just don't like Ferus. That's his one hook, that he just can't make that many friends, I guess. Now, he and Obi-Wan kind of put up a truce in this adventure, and they work together, and they don't have many arguments. Anakin is a little sour that, of course, Mace gives him credit, but in the very next chapter, like 2 pages later, Mace Windu is telling Anakin what a good job. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. Now she's trying to make us feel sorry for Ferus, that he's not perfect as you once thought he was, and he does have mistakes. Even though he warns Obi-Wan, if he's the chosen one, I see a lot of warning signs. I don't know why the Jedi don't see it either. And Obi-Wan's like, well, he sees Ferus's point, and he wants to rise to, Anakin's defense, but at the same time, yeah, that's a good point by Ferus. And Obi-Wan's thought the same thing too. But again, later on at the end, he has no worries about Anakin at all and being the chosen one and fulfilling the prophecy. Oh well, right? All right, folks, that's it for now. See you next time. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure she knows Ferus Olin. Wow, am I going to cut that out?